Hello, so this is a quick update on how to add a quick handrail. I may try and feed this through the spline mesh asset to get a bit more of a proper rail, but this is just using probuilder tools, probuilder window, new shape, and using these using these settings, so 64 steps, curvature 360, build size, stair width 0.3848, stair height 17, you just type that in there, inner radius 6.02, and that's the one I played with to, it still doesn't quite fit. Okay, and then, cancel that, and close that, and I've provided this as a prefab for you to play with, although I'm not supplying any of the textures, you have to add them separately. So just notice there, so we select this one, then we can move it, touch that way, touch this way. Really, you don't want to see any, I can't tell if that's shadow, I think it's just shadowing. Okay, got a bit there. So it's a bit fiddly, this bit, trying to fit the rail. But to fit it to the staircase, but we don't want, we can maybe have a little bit of gap, but we really don't want too much of a gap, because otherwise, we've got a little bit of too bad, and we can hide that a little bit by making this material the same as the or similar to the steps. But let's just try and balance as we can without giving the player any chance to fall through the gaps. And yeah, so there we are. You can see there. Maybe we needed to increase the scale a little bit. So a little bit there, a little bit, yeah. Actually play. Of course, it's difficult because you just push that to the edge there without it opening up, and yet we don't want it too obvious. There's a little bit there. I think that's as far as I'll probably need to rotate that a touch. So I think it looks right. So let's delete that, add that back in, add it to the tile set. And yes, like I said, we probably should work on a proper handrail rather than this rough and ready stylistic one. And this is purely to help players so they don't fall off. I'm dodging one of the main issues, which is how the heck can we jumping in there, how the heck can we put walls in and ceilings in? Something we're going to have to See if I can fill the gaps. No. This makes it a bit easier to navigate, and the players can still jump over and kill themselves if they really try hard enough. But at least it's a little bit. So this is where the ergonomics and stuff comes in. You don't want to make it too easy for the players, and you may want to make it so that it's gameplay in itself. Frustration. Well, frustration is part of gameplay, but you don't want to make it too frustrating. So, for example, if this was to go up and up and up like 3 or 4 times, finding a conflict with the rifle. Anyway, let's try that again. Put this people out. Okay. Find some of them. Oh, there's an exit. Is that an exit up there? I think it is. So, a slight illumination on the material so we can actually see what we're doing at the moment. Vaguely. It's nowhere. Although I've noticed one of the problems with having this balustrade is that it blocks us off from crossing piles if we want to. If I move up here, if I move up closer up, the dead end, where we could have been able to just jump across, no, but jump on some other way to navigate up there. If it's even possible. So yeah, opening one door can shut another if we're not careful. We can always run across the. And of course, this is what players are going to do as well. Is whatever we give them, they're going to try and break it and do other things you didn't expect them to do. And the reason I'm doing this is I think this is not connected, so I'm just trying. Well, missed jumping across. And again, once we start putting walls in place, they're just not going to be able to do this stuff. It's just doing odd transfer jumps. How do we get up there? Let's check, see if there's anywhere else I can go. Up. And again, okay, this is one without the balustrade, so you've got to be very careful there. Here, this one goes nowhere. So how do we get up any further? Over there. How do we get over there? And again, with open plan like this, we can leap from platform to platform and stuff like that. Whereas if we wall it all off, all we're going to see is a wall. We get up there. Connection. We can run off here. Right. This is one of the problems of procedural generation, is that you can end up creating some really gnarly maps. Let's see how we get up there. Right. This one. I found another bug. It's fallen off. And yeah, this is crying out for a torch or better lighting. Again, back to the ergonomics. stumbling about in utter darkness is just frustrating. Let's see. How do we get up here? There, 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 maybe? Yeah. To here, cross. Stop on the rail. So, let's get to the surface. So, I've also included, this is a prefab for people, but you're going to have to put in the tile script on the top object. Well, that is frustrating. You seem to have some sort of door conflict there. Right, well I need two things really. I need a whip or a gun, Jedi gun, to get out of these situations. So I need this, or Spider-Man, whatever you want to call it. But let's see how else I get up. And this, in effect, this actually reminds me of WoW dungeons, where this whole thing would be encased in a larger room. So you'd have some sort of great big cavern, lit cavern, maybe a skybox. And that means that you've got an open plan dungeon area. So that gets around the problem of having lots and lots of walls, and you just have various ledges and platforms to get through. I'm thinking of what is it? The Scarab 5-man. Wow. And also quite a lot of a lot of them really. They were very sparing with their walls. Kind of an open plan dungeon as opposed to a walled off dungeon, but we will try walled off ones too. Oh hello. If I just discovered it by not trying that hard. We must be getting close. I hope I haven't got a portal conflict somewhere. I have no idea how I managed to do that. Leap off. And yeah, okay, so that's great. Lucky me. I'm not going to save the prefab. If I wanted to, I should pause it. So I really need to put in a P button for pause. Because escape is great for getting out when you're in trouble. But if I just want to pause the game, I'm going to have to put in a P button into the speed script to my FPS script. Right. Okay. So right. Yeah. So you're going to have to put in with this prefab that I've provided. Hopefully it's all lined up. It's fairly lined up. You can always break it and edit it yourself. I've got two door objects I've got nothing in. You've got to add a door script to them to make them usable. Doorway script, and the other thing you need to add, and that requires dungeon, and the other thing you need is the tile set script, which is tile. So you need to add that to this object that I'm giving you. And, so you can use that as a reference and you can create your own. And the next developments are to try and make this banister a bit more, what's the word, spline based. But it's still not brilliant. It needs a bit of tidying up. Moving around. You can always scale it a little bit if you need to, but hopefully you can do it just by breaking the prefab, going to the stairs rail and moving it a little. Z. And I'm using middle mouse to do this sort of thing, and right and hold to do that sort of thing. Okay, and yeah, so this is adding a rail to create a little bit more of a user experience, so you can run up the stairs. That's another important thing, to be able to run up the stairs and not just fall off all the time. It's a bit like having in bowling, you have these inflatable things for the gullies, and you can strip that off, and there's pros and against for having balustrades like this and walls around things, because I was thinking of just putting a cylinder around it, but I just thought, especially the feel I'm getting at the moment, it's a lot more fun being able to see where you can see where to go at the moment, whereas where it's all walled off, you just not be able to see where to go. And yeah, I hope you found that interesting.